Hey guys, get ready with me while I tell you about how I found out my ex and my best friend were together. My boyfriend and I broke up in November, and I had a best friend throughout the whole time we were together, and we stayed best friends until after me and my boyfriend broke up. I met my best friend through my boyfriend because they went to the same school, and my boyfriend and her boyfriend were like kind of friends. And we both got together at the same time, like around the same time, and we also broke up around the same time. My best friend asked me if I could block her ex on everything just because she didn't want him to try and get with me, because he would like continuously try and do that while they were together. And I was like, yeah, could you please block my... I have no clue what just fell, but that was loud. Anyways, I asked her to block my ex. She says that she does. I actually go on her phone and block him. And then the next time we hung out, we were like going through her Snap, and I see him, and I was like, why do you guys have a 600-day streak? I thought you like unadded him or something. She was like, oh no, I like blocked him on messages and Instagram and TikTok. Like I just still have him on Snap just for streaks. Like I promise you won't talk like at all. And I was like, okay, that's fine, I guess. But then, like, I go into their, like, messages, and, like, he was, like, texting her. And then, like, he would send her, like, vlogs, and she'd, like, save them in chat. And then he would also, like, save his videos in chat if she wouldn't. I don't know, it's kind of weird. But I was like, okay, whatever. Can you please just unadd him? She's like, yeah, sure. She unadds him. All of that happened in, like, January. And then in around, like, April, I would say, I went to the mall with this guy I was talking to, and I ran into her there, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, hi. I introduced them to each other, and I was like, this is my best friend, blah, blah, blah. Around this time, this girl didn't have any friends because all of her friends left her because she was toxic towards them. And she told me her side of the story, and since I was closer with her than her other friends, I believed her, and I tried to make them, like, forgive her and give her another chance. And, like, I was literally the only person who was trying to get people to like her because everyone started hating her. She used to be, like, the most popular girl at her school. One of my friends told me that she started, like, crap talking me. I didn't really believe him just because he didn't have any proof. But, like, the things that she was, like, saying, like, definitely was weird. At least what he told me she said. But one time she told my ex's best friend that I wanted to like do freaky stuff with him while me and my boyfriend were together. That was one of the reasons why him and I broke up, because she told him that. And that should have been like the last straw for me. I should have just ended our friendship there, but she was like, no, I never said that. I don't know why she's saying, or why he's saying all that. Like, I promise you I didn't say that. I just started to believe her because I was like, it doesn't matter. And I told her, like, no matter what happens, I'm always going to choose our friendship over a boy. After I got home from the mall, I texted my friend. I was like, hey, I just saw so-and-so at the mall. She was with her friends. And he was like, oh, Ellie, I need to tell you something. And he said, she was at your ex's house the other night, one-on-one. My stomach literally dropped. I was like, you're joking, right? Like, she has him blocked on everything. What are you talking about? He's being dead serious. My heart has never beat so hard in my life. Also, if you guys hear anything like in the background, it's just my brother. So I call her, and she answers, and I'm like, so why were you at my ex's house the other night? She's like, what are you talking about? I was like, why were you at his house? She's like, who told you that? I was like, answer my question, why were you at his house? And she was like, just tell me who told you. I said, no, tell me why you were at his house. And she said, I had to talk to him about my ex. And I was like, you couldn't have just called him or texted him? And also, you told me you had him blocked on everything. Why couldn't you have talked to anybody else? And why would you even have communication with him? She was like, I only unblocked him because he was my partner for a French project. And, like, we just started talking from there, and we're just friends, like, I promise, like, there's nothing between us. I was like, why would you lie to me and tell me you still have him blocked and you didn't have any communication with him? That's my phone. She was like, I know, I'm sorry, like, I really, like, don't know why I did that. Please just forgive me. I was like, I'll forgive you if you block him and stop being friends with him. And she's like, I can't do that, I'm sorry, like, he's one of my close friends. I was like, I'm your best friend. You couldn't, like, just keep one person blocked for me. You could have done it to anybody else. Like, I don't care if it was my ex-talking stage, but my ex-boyfriend that I dated for almost a year, who she has comforted me and seen me cry over him for months and months and months because of all the stuff he did and said about me. And so I straight up told her, I was like, you're a horrible friend and you're a horrible person. I should have listened to everybody and what they were saying about you because I was stupid for defending you. And it would also be different if my ex and I ended on good terms. We did not end on good terms at all. And of course she knew that. She says that they were just friends or whatever, and she blocks me on everything because I told her that I wasn't going to be her friend if she was still friends with my ex. So my best friend chose my ex over me. And then I told this girl at my school what happened because I made her and then my ex-best friend become friends. And that's a whole nother story for another time, but everybody at my school started hating me. And then over the next couple months, I would like look at my ex's reposts and it was all about like, I can't tell if she likes me or not, like holy mixed signals, all this stuff. And it was obviously about my ex-best friend because of what his friends were telling me. And his friends would tell me how like he would always tell them like, oh, I'm coming back from so-and-so's house, aka my ex-best friend, or that she was just at his house. And then he would tell them about like how he liked her a lot. Oh, but they were just friends. Also try to justify her actions by saying like, oh, well, one time like I told you this guy was cute and then you called him the same day. I called him because he asked me to model for his clothing brand. I wasn't flirting with him. I wasn't trying to get with him. I didn't even like him, and he's way too old for me and her. We're the same age. I don't know why she's trying to go for people who are like 3-4 years older than us. While she was messing with my ex at the exact same time anyways. So I was just like, I gave up. Like, I don't know what to tell you, bro. Ever since then, this girl has absolutely ruined my life. I have absolutely no friends at my school. I eat lunch in the bathroom by myself. And I can't even make any new friends because everyone already hates me, I guess. And it's all because of these fake rumors or things that have absolutely nothing to do with anybody other than me. I'm gonna finish my makeup and then come back. I never finished my makeup. I will do a story time on why everybody hates me at my school, but other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.
Ready with me while I tell y'all why I'm grounded for the summer. Okay, I'm not crying in this crim because if I had a child, I would low-key ground over this bullshit too. So just, yeah. Okay, let me give y'all a little backstory. There was no 4th of July functions, like, at all. Like, I've been waiting and waiting and waiting. And then, like, my parents were going out of town and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be the function. So that's exactly what I did. I threw a party at my house when my parents were gone. And they actually never would have found out if the neighbors didn't text them because I had an amazing plan. I called up my dad from California and I was like, Dad, like when the cops get here, like I need you to talk to them and pretend like you live here, like this is your house, okay? And my dad was like on board with it and everything. So everything was working out. And then the fuck ass neighbors decided to text my mom and be like, hey, are y'all okay? There's like 4 cop cars outside of your house. And I was like, fuck, I'm cooked. So obviously my mom knew we threw a party and I was like, Mom, like it's all under control, like we got everybody out, all this stuff. Mind you, she's on vacation right now, so this is where it gets even worse. Okay, so I was supposed to have people spend the night so like everyone could help clean up in the morning, right? I checked my mom's like 360 because like I don't know why, I was just like a little concerned. I was like, okay, like I really hope she's not coming home. I don't think she is. She's like 10 minutes away from home and I'm just like, everyone needs to get the fuck out, like I'm about to get yelled at, like all this shit. So I'm like shoving everyone that's supposed to stay the night outside my door. Like I don't know how they got home. God bless you all if y'all found a ride home, like amen. I'm sorry. But yeah, like me and Peyton are like shoving everybody out that it's supposed to stay the night, and then me and her like start like getting to cleaning and shit because it was bad. And guys, mind you, my party was like outside, but Peyton had a hangout inside, so the floors were also like really like dirty and stuff. Anyway, so mom gets home and she's like, Hope, go to your room, like go to your room, I don't want to speak to you right now. And I'm just like, yes mommy. So I go to my room and I don't like talk to her till the morning. Anyways, let's fast forward to the next morning. My punishment, I literally had to like spend all day cleaning, which is obviously like expected because I was like, okay, well like that makes sense, like I understand why I have to clean. But then also after the cleaning, like she made me go to the trampoline park with my 6-year-old sister and jump on trampolines, and that's really not something you want to be doing after you just like went to a party the night before. But it's fine because like, you know, I got McDonald's after, so a win is a win. And then after she stopped screaming at me, like not screaming at me, she was like after she like, you know, like slowly started softening up and not as angry at me, she started telling me all these stories about like the times like my aunt threw parties or like she threw parties. So it's kind of hard to explain. Like, yeah, she's obviously mad at me, but it's like a teenager thing, you know? Like, she can't like be like, what the fuck, Hope, da 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 da. But like, obviously I'm gonna get in trouble because I threw a party. But like at the same time, like, stuff happens. I mean, I don't really know, guys, but yeah. That was my first and last time hosting, unless I ever get permission to, but I doubt I'm gonna get permission to host. But I will say, I did have fun at my own party. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I did have a little fun. But that is my last time hosting. I actually probably should call my dad and update him because I don't think he's heard from me since, like, that night. So I should probably update my dad. Oh, that was another thing my mom was mad at because I called my dad and not her because it's, like, her house. But, like, I didn't want her to find out, so I had to call, like, one of my parents. So I'm sure they're, like, sworn enemies again or something. I don't really know. Anyways, my mom was telling me, like, the next time you go to your dad's, you better throw the biggest Project X party there, like you did at my house. And I was like, you know what, Mom? Fine, I'll do it. Anyway, guys, I did this last year, but started a chain that says Free Hope 2026. I'm actually going to show you all the amount of people that were at my house real quick. I just need to go, like, look over the video first. Guys, I think the only thing I don't like about being a host is how much FOMO I got after the fact. Because everyone was talking about their plans after, like, oh, let's go to Taco Bell, let's go to this. And it's like, well, damn, like, I have to sit here and deal with whatever the fuck happened to my house. Okay, guys, okay, that clip ended short, but that's how many people were at my house. And there were also people inside because, like, people had to go to the restroom and stuff. And then Peyton was having her little party inside. My mom was, like, asking me and Peyton the exact number of how many people were at her house, and we couldn't tell her. Like, that's how bad it was. I was like, Mom, like, I don't know. It was a kickback. That's what I told. Oh my gosh, that's so bad. That shit was not a kickback. But, like, whenever she was, like, really mad, I was like, Mom, it was a kickback. Like, I swear we were just being too loud. I'm not gonna lie, I'm really grateful I have the mom I have, because I think if I had any other mom, they'd probably, like, take the belt and put it to my ass. And I thought I was gonna get the belt. Like, I was ready. I was like, oh my gosh, like, I think I'm gonna get the belt. I was literally ready to take all the punishment, too. But, you know what? I don't know. Would I do it again? Hell no. Like, hell no. Unless I got permission. But, like, not without, like, no. But I did have a good time, unfortunately. Just the consequences after made the time a little less. Anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed watching me get grounded again for, like, the 30th time. But it's reasonable. I love y'all. Bye.
Ready me for school, I talk about how I found out my boyfriend was sending to his cousin. Okay, so this was a while ago, and I was in a relationship, and, like, we were at the point where, like, we had each other's, like, logins to, like, Instagram, Snap, TikTok, and all that stuff, but I didn't really check them because I always thought, like, oh, if I had the account anyway, like, they're not going to be doing anything bad. Nah. Anyway, so one day, you know, I was just chilling, and then I see, like, from his Instagram account, I'm getting, like, so-and-so sent you, like, a disappearing message, and I'm like, that's kind of weird, but, like, it's really not, like, it's his cousin, like, they're pretty close, like, so I was like, okay, whatever. But then this, like, continued to happen. I was like, what's going on? But I was like, okay, no, like, it's not my place to look, like, it could be, like, personal family things, but it's okay. Anyways, fast forward though, this is whenever streaks were still, like, popular on Snap, and basically he was like, hey, I'm getting grounded, like, can you do my streaks while I'm on my phone? And I was like, sure. Anyway, so I'm doing the streaks, and it's like, I don't really care because I already had the account, so I'm not really looking through anything. But then, like, I started to realize I'm not even his #1 best friend. Which, like, okay, it really isn't that weird, but I wasn't even the second or third. I was the fourth, and it was his girl cousin, by the way. She was first, and two of his friends, second and third. Which I was like, okay, I really don't care. But then I also started to think, like, he literally would tell me, like, he doesn't even use Snap that much. So I was trying to think, like, how are they so high up? By the way, in case I didn't specify, the cousin that's #1 on his best friends list is the same one who was having the disappearing messages on Instagram. Anyway, so it was like 2 days that's gone by, and I'm doing the streak, and then I'm like, you know what, fuck it, like, I'm just gonna open his saved messages with his cousin. But yeah, that's where things just went downhill. I opened it, and the first thing I see is, since he was grounded at the time, there's no way for me to, like, confront him about this or do anything. So I also didn't know how to react. Like, I was really like, what the am I looking at? Also, it was nasty because, like, I don't even know his cousin, and, like, now I'm seeing her, and, like, that I just never want to, like, relive that ever again. Anyway, so he gets his phone back, and obviously I confront him about it. Okay, so then at the time when I confronted him, okay, here's where it's bad.
he actually had told me that the reason, he didn't even deny it. Well, there's nothing really to deny, I guess, if like the proof is right in front of you. He genuinely told me she would send to him to ask if he was good enough to send to her boyfriend. Mind you, I understand being close with your cousins because I grew up like very, very close to mine. But what the fuck do you mean you're sending, or she's sending, ask if it's good enough to send to her boyfriend? Anyway, so I stopped talking to him for a few days, like not even like ghosting him. I was just like, hey, I need my space, right? And then the girl, his cousin, starts texting me talking about, oh, like, I hope, like, don't be mad at him, like, it's my fault, it was my idea. And then I'm genuinely like, what the fuck? Anyway, but up till that point, I never found out that he sent to her. But then I realized if she's sending to him, he's definitely sending to her. Anyway, so I actually forgive him because I'm like, let me actually get to the bottom of this. Anyway, so a few days go by and I'm back on his Snap account, not because he's grounded, but because I'm like, shit, like, let me look, like, when he doesn't know I'm about to look, right? Anyway, so then I get flashed by him and yeah. Anyways, not that there's any way to justify that in the first place, but now there's definitely no way to justify that because I had just confronted you and you're like, oh no, it's not gonna happen again. So I don't know if I included this in the story, but after that happened, I actually told the cousin's boyfriend because like I knew who he was. Well, I knew his Instagram, and yeah, that was a time for both of us. Yeah. The worst part about this whole story though is that I actually stayed with him until a month after that happened. Also, like, this was such a weird experience. Like, one, because it was traumatizing, but like two, like, you don't know how to prepare yourself to find out that your boyfriend is seeing cousin. Like, what the fuck? Anyways, moral of the story is that just because you have your boyfriend and your girlfriend's social media accounts, don't think no sneaky stuff isn't happening because it could still be happening. Oh, and also, yes, you should worry about his cousin. So my hair is still wet, but I'm just gonna like hope that dries by the time I'm in school. Anyways, I actually don't wish that upon my worst enemy, but yeah, bye.
You guys might know me as sweeter than grandma's cookies, delicious as a cake frosting. You probably see me as the twinkle in your eyes. Wrong! There was a time in my life where I was loco, where I had the dark side. And today, I'm gonna tell you guys a story about how I literally probably went crazy and ruined this kid's life. About 4 years ago, it was freshman year. Freshman year, yo, I don't know what it was. I was literally insane. Insane, like, not like insane, like insane where I was, like, strategically about to get you. So, freshman year, okay, I had this really good friend. We're gonna call her Jasmine, okay? Me and Jasmine were basically, like, sisters. Like, that was my sister. And Jasmine ended up liking this guy. We're gonna call him Aiden, okay? He was a sophomore, and we were freshmen. There was already a lot of rumors going around saying that Aiden was a player, like, he's just not the one, like, you know, all that. But my friend Jasmine, she was blind in love. So she was like, okay, like, that's okay, you know, that's okay. And me, I support women's right and wrong. So I was kind of warning her, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna let you take the lead. Take it. So my friend Jasmine and Aiden, they start dating, okay? They're dating for about a good, like, 3 months, okay? One night, my friend Jasmine texts me, okay? She's like, I check my phone. I'm like, who the frick is blowing on my phone at 1 a.m.? It's Jasmine. She's like, Priya, like, Aiden's location's off. Like, he's been out. Like, I don't know where he is. Like, I just have this gut feeling. Ladies, let me tell you something, okay? If you ever have a gut feeling, 99% of the time, it is right. She's like, I feel like he's, like, doing something. I feel like he's cheating on me, like, da-da-da. And I instantly go, I'm like, this is my time to shine. So I'm texting, I'm like, don't worry about it. Like, I got this. So what I end up doing is I literally end up taking 3 different Instagram stories. I'm putting it all together like puzzle pieces, okay? I take 3 Instagram stories. I take 5 Snapchat stories. I text about 40 people. I am going insane. I literally have like 4 devices pulled up next to me. And I'm like I'm going insane. Cause you're not about to play. You're not about to play in my girl's face like that. That is my sister. You play in her face, you're going down. So I'm on 3 different devices. I'm like, we can't really get to the bottom of this. So after about 10 minutes of literally going insane, I pinpoint the exact location where Aiden is. I literally have his exact coordinates. I know exactly what room he's in. Like, I know everything. I had about 40 people telling me, updating me on his every single move. I have eyes and ears everywhere. To this day, I still do. But literally, there were 40 people. I knew every step he was taking. I knew wherever I knew everything. So after I'm gathering all this information, I'm typing it to Jasmine. I'm like, girl, he's literally at a party. And obviously, my girl Jasmine's tweaking. She's like, oh. She's like, nah. And I'm like, baby, chill. Chill, because I'm here. I'm here. So my crazy mind, I'm like, I have the genius idea ever. You play on my girl's face, I'm going to literally ruin your life, okay? Turns out Aiden was at this party that he was not supposed to be at, okay? His parents didn't know. No one knew. His parents just thought he was hanging out at his friend's house, like sleepover basically, okay? So he was at this party and he was literally hooking up with his ex. Playing in my girl's face like that. So obviously I had to kill him. So this girl texted me, okay? She's at the party. She's like, oh my God, Aiden just took his ex upstairs to a room. And instantly, I'm like fuming. I'm like, why would he do that? So I'm like, listen, here's what's gonna happen, okay? I'm texting 4 different people the plan. The plan is we're gonna make it seem like Aiden is gay. And let me tell you something. The worst thing you could ever do to a man with a high ego that's already popular is make him, like, people think he's gay. Like, that is the end of him. No way, shape, or form am I, like, discriminating against all my gay people, okay? I literally love the gays, but it had to be done. So, I text this one guy. He was already gay, and I text him, and I'm like, hey, can you do me a favor? Like, da-da-da, and I tell him how he's playing in my girl's face, and we need to basically, like, spread rumors. So, the guy's down. He texts me, and he goes, oh, my God, girl, I would literally love to help you. Like, let me know what I need to do. So, basically, I make it seem... okay, chill, okay? Like, I'm not very proud. But I made it seem like Aiden was in the room with two guys. So after I plan everything out, okay, I go to sleep. Me. I wake up the next day. What a beautiful morning. I go to school. As soon as I enter school, it is the talk of the town, yo. There are released pictures on Snapchat of Aiden shirtless on the bed, and next to him are 2 guys also shirtless. So now the whole school thinks he's gay. He's going crazy. The school is going crazy. Everyone's going crazy. And Jasmine comes up and she's like, oh my God, like, did you hear what happened? Like, I didn't even know he was gay. Like, what's going on? And I'm like, baby, he was never gay. To this day, people still think Aiden is gay. And literally, like, he lost all his popularity, 0 fame, 0 everything. Because you're not, like, don't ever play in my sister's face like that ever in your life. Also, did I mention that I called the cops on the party? I called the cops on the party. I did, like, a noise complaint. And I also called Aiden's parents. I was like, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, let me tell you something. Do you know where your son Aiden is at right now? Isn't he at, like, a friend's house? Wrong, bitch. He's getting cracked by 2 guys right now as we speak.
In the 7th grade, my boyfriend faked having cancer so he could stop talking to me. I wish I was joking. I really do. Like I said, this is 7th grade, middle school, so I really wouldn't consider him to be my actual boyfriend. But let's just say, like, we liked each other, okay? Of course, when you're in middle school, you can't drive, so you either have somebody come pick you up or you ride the bus. We're gonna call him Joey, but me and Joey used to ride the same bus, so we'd be in the same, like, bus line. And I thought he was cute, so, like, we, like, flirted or whatever. Very, very middle school. I do distinctly remember him being really short. I was like, I've never really had a crush on anybody who was shorter than me before. That should have been my first red flag. But anyways, I was literally at Chuck E. Cheese one night. I'm not even joking. My parents were like, let's go to Chuck E. Cheese. So I was like, okay. But we were at Chuck E. Cheese and I get an Instagram DM from him. And he's like, you like me. I like you. Let's date. This is really like my first ever relationship. I'm literally like 12 years old. So I'm like, okay, let's do it. I'm gonna be completely honest. This relationship was so forgettable that I don't even remember what kind of conversations we had. But I do remember that at one point he just ghosted me. Like completely out of the blue, just stopped replying to all of my texts. And when he did reply to my text, he would reply and then just ghost me again. Like Hello? Obviously, I confronted him about it and I was like, hey, dude, so what's your deal? Like, why aren't you talking to me anymore? And he responds back and he's like, oh, I got my phone taken away, so I can't really talk to you that much. And I was like, okay, understandable. I just wish that you, like, told me, you know, at school or something. So he got his phone taken away, right? Tell me why I see this man active on TikTok. Do not play with me right now. Now I'm confused because you just said you got your phone taken away, but you're here active on TikTok. And he even commented on my post. Make it make sense. To this day, I am still baffled that he literally commented on my TikTok post after he told me he got his phone taken away. But anyway, obviously I'm pissed and I'm confused, so I'm like, what is happening? And then I get a text from him. I open it immediately because he never texts me, let alone text me first. And it's a text that says, hello, this is Joey's mother. I'm texting you like from his phone. And I'm like, what is happening? Literally, what is happening right now? I'm reading the text and it's like, I'm texting you because Joey has cancer. What? So I'm like freaking out because like I don't even know what to do. I'm sitting in my room and I'm flabbergasted by this information that was just thrown at me at the ripe age of 12 at 9 p.m. So I text my friends and I'm like, guys, what the heck do I do? Because Joey just told me he has cancer. And I don't quite remember what happened after that, but I do remember Joey texting me and he's like, so that was all a lie. Like, that was all a joke. A moment of silence, please. That relationship did not last a very long time. Let's just say that. I broke up with him not long afterwards. Literally remember, I broke up with him on New Year's Eve so that if he tried to talk about our relationship or have my name in his mouth, I'd be like, dude, I literally broke up with you last year. Why are you still talking about me? And I literally thought that that was revolutionary. Like, I thought that was the toughest thing ever. Oh, and a memory just popped back up in my head. After we broke up, he started calling me, FaceTiming me in like this group FaceTime with him and his friends. Boy, I'm not picking that up. Get out of my face.
Let's talk about the time I ran away from home when I was in high school and almost got kidnapped by a psychopath. So all my life, basically, my dad has been pretty obsessed with my grades. And especially in grade 12, my dad was extra obsessed because it was like university admission, can you get into your dream school type thing. Like, he knew what grades I got on my assignments and stuff before I even got to know them. But anyways, it was right after my first ever calculus unit test. I got a low 90. I think I got like a 90 or like a 92. I don't know, something like that. And my dad was super upset because previously in all of my other math classes, like I had 100 streak or I would get like a high 90, and yeah, like that was just a norm. So when he saw that I got a low 90, he freaked. Like, this dude was freaking out. And I remember, this is so random and completely unrelated, but I lost my AirPods and he was like mad at me for that, and plus the math test. Like, he was just like mad at me all around. And I was in the car with him, he was tweaking out. He was like, oh my god, like, couldn't you do better? Basically just crashing out at me for like being stupid. I was so stressed. Like, I already put so much pressure on myself in everything I do. So when my parents put stress on me, I can't tolerate it, because what do you mean? Like, I'm already crashing out. You don't need to make me crash out more. And I remember when I saw that score, like, I was upset. Obviously, I was already so upset and I thought I was a dumbass. And he was crashing out at me for being stupid. I couldn't handle it. I was like, oh my god, like, you know, I worked so hard and now you're giving me shit because I didn't get the grade you wanted. So I came home after that car ride. I was just sitting in my room and I was like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. And it was the middle of February, I think. I live in Canada, so it's super cold, it's snowing, and I threw on a tank top and an Aritzia zip-up hoodie and I snuck outside. And to this day, my parents don't know this. I don't want them to know about this, but they're gonna watch this TikTok. I was like super sneaky, like with my tiptoes, and I snuck outside, like -20, -30 degree weather. I went to my bus stop. I waited like 30 minutes, 40 minutes in the cold for the bus because it was super late at night. There were not that many buses. I could have just went for a walk, but I was just feeling extra. Like, I wanted to leave. Like, I wanted to be as far away from my house as possible. Like, I did not want to be home. I hated my life. I was like, oh my god, I can't. I'm gonna walk around aimlessly, and if then that's my fate. Like, I don't know, I'm just so dumb. And I think that was the last bus because this was like around midnight, 1 a.m. I don't know, but
I think that was like the last bus. Ended up in a train station. I took the train to go downtown. So I don't know why I kept doing like more dangerous things, but I was just like a reckless teenager. So I was downtown, and as soon as I got on the train, I immediately regretted my life choices because everyone on that train were either super fucking scary or just outright dangerous. I'm talking like everyone around me was a crackhead, and I was just like a little like scared teenager by myself. This one woman, she was so high, she didn't even know what was going on. Her pants were down. I could see her undies and her butt cheeks, like, and she was like a zombie because she was so hot, and she was like, "Argh." She walked into the train screaming, and she said she left something there and like she lost it, and she was screaming at everyone. She's like, "Did you take it? Did you take my shit?" And she was cussing, she was yelling. I was so scared because she was coming so close. She was like this. She was like, "Did you take it? Did you take it?" And I was like, oh my god, like I'm so scared. But I couldn't get out because the train station itself was also filled with crackheads. Like, I don't know how I made it out alive. But anyways, the woman was just acting up, and she was tripping and falling and whatever. I don't know, she was just in her own world. But I was sitting down on the chair, and right across from me, I see this man, and he just looks so freaking weird. Now I'm actually getting goosebumps, but he had a mask, like a huge face mask that was like this big, and he had like a beanie on, and he had on this windbreaker, and he had his hood up. So literally you could not see anything but his eyes, like right here. But he was making such intense eye contact with me that I did not know what the heck to do. He was looking at me like this. You know when someone is watching you like nonstop? I tried going on my phone, I tried to fidget, I tried to look around, and I saw this guy's eyes on me the whole time. And the thing is, you know, as the train is making stops, people are like leaving and entering, you know? This guy is not leaving the train. I sat on the train frozen until the end of the line. Yeah, the end of the entire line. We were at like the final destination, there were like very few people on the train plus me and him. I got out of the train. People disappeared so quickly, and it was pitch black. It was so silent, just me and him. And I was so petrified. I was like, oh my god, I literally ran away from home because I got a 92 on my freaking test. Now I'm getting followed by some weirdo. But I remember I was trying to reach a friend, and I was texting my friend, trying to reach my friend. I was like on the phone, and I think that's the only thing that made him stop. It's just deep in my instinct. I knew he was gonna try to do something to me. I had no weapons on me. I didn't have a pepper spray, whatever. I literally had nothing. He was like maybe like 5 meters away from me. He wasn't super close, but it's like he was watching me from afar. And I didn't know what he was gonna do, but I knew something was going to happen. He would like try to come closer, but every time I picked up the phone, he would like stay there. And then when I was texting, he would come kind of closer, and when I called again, he would freeze. So by this time around, there were no more buses and trains available, and stupid me thought the buses and trains were available 24/7. So my plan was to take the bus and train back home. But when I realized that it wasn't available, I panicked and I didn't know what to do. So my friend called me an Uber. Honestly, I think about this a lot. Had my friend not called me an Uber, I might have been 6 feet under today. But my Uber came on the other side of the train station, so when I was walking down, he followed me. And it wasn't until the driver came out that he stood from afar watching me, but he was there, like right up until I got into the Uber and left. He stood there just watching me. I cannot lie, my parents would tweak out if they heard about this, but you guys low-key stressed me the hell out, especially my dad. If only my dad knew all the things I did as a kid, because he freaking pressured me to get good grades. But whatever, like, past is in the past, and yeah. But yeah, moral of the story, don't run away. And if you do want to run away, make sure to do it when it's a little bit brighter, and pack a pepper spray. Thanks for watching.
Okay, so I was dating this guy for 6 years. For about 4 years of our relationship, we had our own apartment together. But at this point in our relationship, I had moved back to my parents' house and he had moved in with me. So we were both living with my parents. We were there for about a year. My mom would cook dinner for us every single night. My sister's friends would come over. They would see us together. We were literally living at my parents' house together. One of my sister's friends, her name starts with an S, so we're just gonna call her S. She was one of those friends who would come over and see my boyfriend and I at the time laying in bed together. She has a strawberry business. I would literally order strawberries from her to give to my boyfriend, like for Valentine's Day, for his birthday. Okay, I don't want to say boyfriend, so we're gonna call him John. S and my sister have been friends since elementary school, so I've also known her for a really long time. The year that I was living with my parents, I was around S more because of my sister. We celebrated Halloween together with all our boyfriends and celebrated her birthday. We went to Haribel together. S was around because of my sister. For years, S has been my cousin's side chick. And my cousin is in a whole relationship. He's been with his girlfriend for, if I can make a guess, maybe like 5 or 6 years. And she's been the side piece. And she knows that he's in a whole relationship. He lives with his girlfriend and everything. So she's been his side piece. Fast forward. I come on here on TikTok. I go live. I'm doing my makeup this random day. And my sister's calling me as I'm on live. I answer the call and she's like, I need to tell you something. I'm really nervous. I'm scared. I was getting anxious. So I was like, what? What's going on? Tell me. Her best friend at the time, we'll call her L, had called my sister and told my sister that S and John were doing stuff at work. The reason L knew this is because L and S started becoming best friends. So S was telling L, and L was best friends with my sister, so L told my sister. L, S, and John all worked together. I was just so sick. Just tell my sister I'm gonna go to his job because I needed to see it with my own eyes. Even though I heard it, I couldn't believe it. So I'm like, I'm gonna pull up to his job. I get off the phone with my sister and the live is still going. I'm bawling my eyes out. People were asking what was wrong and I just said what happened because I was so upset. I just could not hold it together. So I continued getting ready. I finished doing my makeup and everything, got off, and I called my cousin. John and S did not know what type of car my cousin drove, which is why I called this cousin. I called her and I was like, hey, you know, this just happened. Can you please take me to John's job? She's like, yeah, I got you. So she picks me up and we showed up like 3 hours earlier. So John used to get off at 7. He's supposed to get off at 9. So I would always ask him, like, why don't you get off at 7 anymore? And he would tell me, like, oh, I had to stay longer. I didn't think anything of it. I was just like, okay. But L had told my sister the reason that he would stay longer was because he would help her, which is why he was there longer. Because even if he finished, he would go help her. L had told my sister that she was working that day, so it was perfect. I didn't know if this one day I was going to go over there, he was going to leave early, or if he was going to help her and stay till 9, which is why I went 3 hours earlier. So we're just there waiting in the car. I'm freaking out because I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to see something. If I do, I don't know how I'm going to act. I don't know. When I got there, his car was parked in front of the building with her car. My sister used to work there, so she told me that they're not allowed to park in the front, that you had to park in the back of the building. So I was confused as to why his car was parked in the front. Then I ended up finding out the reason they would park in the front is so that no one would see them leave together. At 9 p.m., I see him, her, and his brother walking out of the building. It's him and her in the front, and then his brother is behind them. John walks S to her car, and his brother walks to his car. They're at her car, like, talking, and my window's cracked down a little bit so I can hear him. He called her some type of name, so I open my door, and I'm like, John? He turns around, and you guys, this man is such an actor. He acted completely normal. He turns around, and he's like, yeah? And I was like, what do you mean, yeah? I go up to him, and the S is getting in her car, and I'm like, S? She's like, yeah. I'm like, get out of your car. Gets out of her car and comes up to me, and I'm going off on both of them. For one, S knew that we were together. She knew that we were together. So not only was it his fault, but it was also her fault, which is why I was going off on both of them. So I'm going off on both of them, and like, S was like, I would never do that. I knew you guys were together. Why would I do that? And I told her, I was like, you're literally my cousin's side piece. Like, do not tell me you would not do that. because you would. So then John starts holding me back and I'm getting even more mad. I wasn't gonna fight the girl, I was just going off on her. But why are you holding me back? So after going off on both of them, I just let it be and got back in the car. I was like, I'm done with this guy. You guys, right after this, he was gonna go to my parents' house, lay in bed with me, eat the food my mom made. Like,
story time on my psychotic ex-homeboy who like literally planned on me. It is a very long story, so I'm probably gonna be using the whole 10 minutes, so like grab a snack or something because it's very interesting. Okay, this all starts with me and my ex-homeboy, who we'll just call him Psycho. That's like his nickname. When me and Psycho like first became friends, and me and him first became friends like in September. I think it was September, yeah. So my homegirl introduced me to him because yeah, they were friends, but I never really knew him. But yeah, my homegirl introduced us, and like ever since we were introduced, we just like we clicked. Like we were just like that. Like that was literally my best friend. Like I've had homeboys before, but like that was like I've never really considered a homeboy like my best friend. So but him, that was actually my best friend. Like I cared a lot about him. So yeah, when we first became friends, we clicked like that. Yeah, and I didn't really notice any like crazy stuff about him until like we started to get more comfortable around each other. And when I mean we would get comfortable with each other, like we would literally, like I would tell him everything. I would tell him, like if I was talking to a guy, I would tell, like he was the first person I'd go to tell. And he would like, you know, if I was ever having issues with a guy, he would, you know, like give me advice, which by the way, his advice literally was so bad. That's why I never listened to him, because he was just horrible at giving advice. But I liked talking to him. You know, he was just a really good person to talk to, and he always listened to me. But I kind of started to notice that I would be telling him more than he'd be telling me. Like, you know, he would listen to all my problems, but I noticed how he would really never talk about himself, which is nothing wrong. I just also think I'm a big oversharer, so that could also be one thing. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, I guess. But yeah, I just noticed I was telling him a lot more than he would tell me. So like eventually I kind of started to stop like sharing everything with him. And when me and him became friends, I had just gotten out of a really bad breakup with like this boy who literally made my life miserable. Like he literally made my mental health just go down. Like that boy literally just made my mental health go down. So Psycho was literally always there for me, and he, you know, he would comfort me and all that. And mind you, my ex-boyfriend would talk so bad about Psycho. Okay, like they would just talk bad about each other, right? But you know, knowing all this stuff my ex-boyfriend did, actually, if you guys want to know what my ex-boyfriend did, I literally have that video up on my page of what he did, but that's a different video. Yeah, so knowing all this stuff my ex-boyfriend did, I would notice how Psycho would be friends with him, and they would like be together all the time. Like eventually I felt like I was getting replaced by my ex-boyfriend with him, and I was like, that's so crazy, because you know everything he did to me and you're still gonna go be friends with him. Actually, if I think about it, he was friends with all my ops, all the people that did me wrong. He was friends with them. And I was like, and you know, I kind of started to slowly piece it together. I'm like, wait, he's friends with everybody who hates me or talks shit about me. So I'm like, wait a minute. Hold up. So at one point I even confronted him, and I was like, hey, like, I don't really know how to feel about you, like, hanging out with all the people that, like, literally talk shit about me, like, in the worst way. But also, I was not trying to control him at all. I'm not that person to tell you to who you can hang out with and who not. I was just making it known that it was weird, you know? Because it just doesn't give loyal at all. So he was telling me, he was like, he would always create up with it. Psycho would always create up an excuse and be like, yeah, just because I talk to them doesn't mean I fuck with them. Like I could joke around with somebody, that doesn't mean I fuck with them. Literally, me personally, if I didn't fuck with them, they would never be hearing from me. what are you talking about? You don't fuck with them, but you're gonna go make jokes with them and walk around in the hallway with them all the time. Like, I know I'm not, right? Unless I may be wrong. I don't know, but then he would also tell me, he's like, you don't understand, it's a guy thing. Well, then guys are just dumb as hell. Guys are just dumb as hell then, because, like, that makes literally no sense. So whatever, I just decided to ignore it and still be friends with him. I don't know why, I don't know, because I really did cherish our friendship. So let me just ignore it. We're still cool, it's whatever. Okay. Now, maybe it's like February or January. It's January or February. He starts to like me. Right? He starts to like me. And, you know, my delusional ass. Like, I was like, oh, maybe we should try it, you know? Like, maybe we should. Like, what's it like being together? I started to wonder, like, oh, what would it be like if we were together? Like, you know, I feel like I should give him a chance. Big mistake. Big mistake. So I give him a chance, right? And it's fine, but then I noticed how he's low-key kind of weird. Like, first of all, I would, like, be next to him, and I'd catch him, like, trying to hold my hand, right? Which is nothing wrong with that. But he was overly weird about it. Like, he would, like, pretend to hold my hand, or, like, not pretend, but, like, try to hold my hand, and I'd be like, are you okay? And he would, I don't know how to explain it to y'all, but it was super weird. Like, it was just so weird. Like, it made me uncomfortable because it was like, just hold my hand. What are you doing? Like, you know, he just made it awkward and weird. Like, I remember this one time when we were just joking around, and I, like, put my leg on top of his leg, like, literally for, like, 1 second. And I take my leg off, and I notice how he starts shaking like crazy. Like, it was scary. Like, it literally freaked me out by, like, how, like, crazy he was shaking. So I just, like, ended it between us, but he said he still wanted to be friends. So I was like, okay, yeah, let's still be friends. Like, you know, that was a friendship I cherished so much. Like, I do want to be friends with you. Like, you're literally my best friend. So shortly after, we kind of end, like, the whole romantic thing between us, but now we're just friends. But I noticed how, like, he'd stop hanging out with me. And, like, a part of me would be like, okay, I understand that. Like, sure, I completely understand that. Like, I hurt him. Yeah. But I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm the person in the wrong, but whatever. So later he starts to like this girl, and then he completely shuts me out. Whatever. That's another story time. Hold on. Because the whole other girl, him liking another girl, that's a whole other story time. Let me know if y'all want that, because that was a big thing, and it still gets me mad to this day. But anyways, after he likes that girl, he, like, literally tells me he doesn't want to be friends with me anymore, that the girl doesn't want him around me or stuff, which is understandable. I mean, I get it. Okay. So recently, I want to say maybe like a month ago, I was on the phone with my other homeboy, and we were just talking, and he was like, oh, have you heard from Psycho? And I'm like, no, me and him don't talk anymore. And he was like, oh, well, you know what's crazy? And I was like, what? And he was like, you know, Psycho wanted to you? I was like, excuse me? He was like, yeah, like, Psycho would tell me all the time that, like, he would want to, like, you. And that, like, he would dream about it and fantasize about me. And it's like, what? And he would literally tell me, he's like, yeah, like, you know, one time during school, he told me that he was even going to plan on doing it to you for real. And I was like, what? What? And it's crazy because, like, y'all, when he told me, my homeboy told me that, I was so scared. Like, I was like, oh my God. And it's crazy because I would be right next to him in some situations, and it's crazy because, like, I would be standing next to Psycho. Wow, all these thoughts were running in his head of wanting to me. Like, what? Like, that is so scary. And also, another thing, my homeboy also told me, he was like, yeah, and did you know that, like, Psycho also plans on himself when he, like, gets, like, 30 years old, just because he just because he wants to get old. Like, he wants to himself just because he doesn't want to get old and get wrinkles and all that stuff. Like, are you okay? Like, I feel like we need to get a therapist going. Like, I don't know. Like, y'all, like, I cannot believe I was friends with this guy. Like, I cannot believe it. I need to make better friends, honestly.